Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, and today I have a cute project for you. This one is using the Bewitching bundle. I said that I would do another week of a Halloween project for you. I want to give you a chance to get your Halloween supplies to make these projects in plenty of time. And also I want you to avoid sellouts at the last moment, so I can show you these projects right now. Also, we only have about a week left of celebration. It ends next Wednesday, and I want you to take the opportunity to get something free from Stampin' Up! If you spend at least $50. So today's project, they're just so cute. It's using this Bewitching bundle, which includes the Bewitching stamp set and the Witch Hat Builder Punch. And then I used down here, you might remember the Alphabet bundle to put Boo on the box, because I love the stamp set, the Bewitching stamp set, but it doesn't have any words to go with it. So if you got the Alphabet bundle, or if you're thinking about getting it, it is great for spelling out cute little words like that to add to your boxes. And I think this is just adorable. And I made them in a whole bunch of colors. I really think if you ever have a Halloween party, or if you're giving these out at the office, it's nice to have a display with different colors because they really play off of each other. Or you could do something like this and do gray boxes and then just add color to your witch hat. Or you can cut out these cute little witches shoes with socks and or whatever tights, and then just kind of do them that way. So you have options. So I'm going to show you how to make this cute little triangle box to put that on. And good morning to everyone who's joining me already. I'm so glad to have live people because it's neat to be able to answer your questions as I go through, and it's just gives me something to feed off of, and that way I can learn things from you too. Because I think almost every video someone says something that I didn't clue into and that I needed to know too. So it's nice that we can all help each other be better paper crafters. Okay, I need to tell you about my project sheet, don't I? This is my project sheet, and my printer this morning, it is lacking one of the colors. It didn't tell me it was out, but it printed these off and just kind of muted the tones. So when you get your project sheet, when you print it out, it will look better than this one. Mine kind of looks washed out because I think I'm missing one of the colors in my printer. I need to go change that out. But to get this project sheet, you need to be an email list subscriber. It's free. It's down below in the description of this video. Just look for the link to join my email list. And every Saturday I send out a project sheet for my Friday project, and it looks like this. And sometimes I'll include, it has the written instructions, and then sometimes I'll include a diagram that will help you with your project, so that between the video and the project sheet, you should be able to do this project no problem. Okay, I want to make sure I always mention that because it is a nice perk. Oh, stand up there. Oh, good morning, everyone who's joined me. I'll talk to you guys all afterwards. Let me switch over to my other camera. Okay, look at my little boxes. Aren't they super cute? I think they just look adorable, and I kind of made them in Halloween colors, and they're just sweet. Let me open up one of these boxes and kind of show you. I put some candy inside. How about we talk about what candy will fit afterwards, once we've made one of these, but you can get an idea. You can see a kiss up at the top, so you can kind of get an idea of how big these little boxes are. All right, let's shove these to the side for a moment, and let's talk about the main supplies that I use to make them. So first of all, we have the Bewitching bundle, and when you buy the Witch Hat Builder Punch and the Bewitching stamp set together under the bundle item number, you can save 10%, or you can buy them separately as well. And then we have the Alpha Best bundle, and that's what I use to create the boo. And I'm going to show you a little tip on how to get this onto the front of the box without going crazy. I use these also on the Hershey's Nugget boxes. So if you haven't seen those, make sure you go to my blog. It's the first link will take you to the blog post for today, but then just do a search for Hershey's Nuggets on my blog, and you will see these cute little nugget boxes that I made a couple months ago with this bundle. And it's just, this is a great bundle to have. And I'll show you how to make the boo on there. And then we've got this awesome glitter washi tape with these colors for Halloween. And I used that, two things. I used it to wrap around the box to give it a little detail. And I also used it to add a little star on there. And I'll show you, there was one star that didn't fit, like it was a little bit too big for the washi tape, and I'll show you how I made that little washi tape element. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. So let me grab my Simply Scored. I always like to create projects on here because it's just easier. I think I'm gonna adjust my camera here and then adjust this, because otherwise I'm gonna always have to adjust it for my camera. Okay, so we're going to make a Highland Heather box today. They're all made the same way, and you're going to need, first of all, we're going to make the bottom piece. So this piece measures 7.5 by 2 inches. And let me just get my stylus tool. You're going to want to score this piece at 2 3/8. 4 3/4, and 7 1/8. Then turn it to the short side and score it at the 3/8 inch mark. I always have a problem when I come right down here. So one of the things that you'll want to do, I'm sitting down right now, is stand up. It's easier to score standing up. So you can kind of see right here, I just went off kilter a little bit, but guess what? This is going to be on the tab part, you're not going to see it. So that is what it looks like, okay? And we're going to do the same thing. We're creating the sides of the box, and that is the piece for the box bottom. And now we're going to create one for the sides for the box top. So this piece measures 7 7/8 inches by 2 inches. So we're going to score this one at 2.5, 5, and 7.5. And this is all in inches. Going to turn it again, and we'll score at the 3/8 inch mark. Let's see if I can do a better job of not skipping my tracks coming down here. Okay. All right, so we've got our two pieces all scored. And then we need to prep them. So we're going to take our paper snips, and first of all, we prep both of these in the same way. So we're going to do them both at the same time. So I'm going to cut away this corner square, but I'm going to do it on an angle. So I'm creating little tabs. Okay, so just make it a little wider, and then I'm going to cut V's into the score intersections. So you'll just note that I have the short skinny side close to me, and then on the end here I also want to angle cut that end. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and we'll do the same thing, same prep work for the other piece. Cut a little V into the intersection. And then we'll do one last angle here. Okay. All right, I love to use Tombow, and I will be using that in a second. So I do not like to use tear and tape for boxes. I feel like Tombow is going to hold everything together better. So we'll just use, you can just fold. If you want to make sure your fold is nice and crisp, you can use a bone folder. And when I do these ones, I just start the fold. And then I'll bend this over so all the tabs are down, and then I can do this all in one to create those tabs. So that's how you prep each one of these. It's not a hard box once you know the dimensions. Okay, those tabs are tucked under, and then I can use my bone folder to smooth out that tab. All right. Okay, so we're going to bring, let me straighten out these tabs because it will be a little easier. We're going to take this side tab right here and put Tombow on it, and we're going to bring it together to form a triangle. Let me put Tombow right on there, bring it together, and with Tombow you have a few seconds to get it into place, and then once you've got a nice seam, you want that score line right up against the end, and just kind of pinch it and just make sure it's coming together. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And we'll do the same for the other one. Just put Tombow on that side tab for now. And then we'll bring this together. Helps if these bottom tabs are straight for the moment. And just take a moment, line everything up. You can see how it's coming together. You can see the little tab on the inside. And then these are my little other tabs on the top. So in preparation for putting triangles on here, I'm just going to push these down and these ones down. Okay. So now they're prepped for a triangle that we're going to make right now. All right, we need to make some triangles because right now we don't have any triangle dies. So you're going to start off with a piece of matching cardstock that is 3 3/4 inches by 2 1/8 inches. Okay, I'm just going to flip this over because I've made myself some little marks already, but I'll show you what you need to do to make the triangle. You'll need a ruler and a pencil, and you're going to make a mark over 2 1/2 inches on the long side. So 2 1/2 inches, you'll make a little pencil mark over on the long side. And then on the opposite long side, you're going to measure going in the opposite direction. So it's 2 1/2 over on this side. And then you're going to connect the dots with a pencil line. I'm going to show you this on my diagram that I did for the project sheet in just a second so you can kind of see what I mean. So you can see this triangle and this triangle are going to be the ones that we're going to use. These end triangles, kind of half of this, you can use them for another project or you can discard them. We only need these two right here. So let me just show you real quick once again what I mean. Sorry for the awful colors that my printer produced this morning, but you want to go 2 1/2 inches over from this side and then 2.5 inches over from that side. Okay. If you guys, so if you want to measure the same on both sides, it's 2.5 inches from this side, and it's 1.25 inches over if you want to measure from the same side. But I just thought it was easier to say 2.5 this way and then 2.5 this way, and that way you only had to remember one number in your head. Okay, so the easiest way to cut these is actually with scissors. You can do it on your trimmer, but yesterday what I found out is because this is a small piece, that sometimes even when you're pressing this down, it will shift a little bit. So if you're going to do it on your trimmer, which I know some of you like really straight lines, I would anchor it up at the top. So you just need to shift your line so it lines up with the trimmer, and then have it anchored along the line. So this line is perfectly along this cutting groove. And then I would bring my blade out here and I would push that way rather than coming from this way down, because when you're pulling this way, that's when the cardstock tends to shift, because there's nothing stopping this cardstock from moving other than the pressure right here, and sometimes that's not enough to keep it from shifting. So if you have your trimmer out here, you have your top anchored, you can see it's anchored just a little bit by this piece right here. So when I push forward, it's going to push onto this piece and hopefully it won't shift. So you can do it this way. That's the first cut. Or that's why I have you draw pencil lines on here. You can just cut along the pencil line like that. Okay, so choose however you want to do it. And then these two, they get thrown away. And then both of these triangles, so I have pencil, you can see the pencil lines a little bit. You can either erase them or turn them over. And then we're going to adhere them to the boxes right now. Okay, so we want to put Tombow on the tabs. And then we'll just stick this on top. I'm just using my fingers to feel the edge and place it on top. And then I'll kind of run it around here, right along the edges, just a little pressure to help it stick. Turn it over and then use your finger or a bone folder to press on those seams a little bit, just to make sure that they're actually adhering. Okay, so you can see the seams kind of down at the bottom of the box, but pretty easy to make those triangles. And then, okay, and then we'll stick the other triangle, and basically I'm just, you know, this triangle, this is on the bigger the lid of the box. So the lid is a little bit bigger than the box bottom. So you'll find that this triangle floats just a little tiny, it's probably not even a 1/16 of an inch around the edge. So you might just see just a tiny sliver of the bottom tabs peek out here. Turn it over and then give it a push. Just making sure those tabs are adhered in place. And then this is the bottom. And then I like my seams to be at the back. And there is our little tiny triangle box. All right, so let's decorate this up. Let's start off by creating Boo. So I know I've got pieces here. Okay, so I've got a skinny strip of cardstock here. I think it's about 5/8 of an inch. It can be any length, but okay, it's about 3/4 of an inch wide. And I think that works really well for creating the alphabet, stamping the alphabet. I'm going to use 2 colors, Highland Heather and Night of Navy. And I like to use Night of Navy as an alternative black. I'm sure you've seen me use it a lot lately. It stamps a little bit better than the tuxedo black. I could, of course, put them on the Stamparatus and stamp a couple of times to create that deep dark image. But sometimes I don't want to bring my Stamparatus out and I just want to be able to stamp and go real quickly. So I'm just going to stamp, this is the little dotted stamp from the Alphabet bundle. And I'm just going to stamp that 3 times on the strip. Leave a little bit of space in between because when this punches out, there's a little bit of a border. I can put this away. And this was Highland Heather. And the other colors, I just matched my cardstock to the color I used on the front. So I also used Pumpkin Pie and Old Olive. Or if you want to do the Smoky Slate boxes, I used basic gray boxes. I used Smoky Slate 8 ink on those ones. So I just match to whatever the color of box is. And then we'll use some Night of Navy. And just ink up the B first. And this one I'm kind of centering. But I thought when I was stamping the boo, I liked, in the past sometimes I've centered the O. The O is a little smaller. So sometimes I center the O, but since I'm lining them up, I'm bringing the O down to the bottom. So you can see instead of centering the O, it's a little closer aligned with where the B will be. So just add that. And after you've practiced using this alphabet for a while, you will get really good at it. And then we'll just come in. Give yourself a practice run. Just use some computer paper first, just so you can get a feel for how to stamp the alphabet. When you're stamping small photopolymer stamps, you don't want to squish down too hard because it will distort the photopolymer and it will not give you a crisp image. So just give it a little practice. It's a little different than stamping a bigger stamp or with our red rubber. Okay, so we've got our boo. Now to line up boo, it would be kind of hard for me to line those up on the box like I did for here, just like freehand. Also, I wanted to pop this off the box a little bit. It's stuck on here. You can probably see with some little dimensionals. So the easiest way to do this is just to take a little strip of cardstock. And this one here, you just, however long your word is, make it just a little bit shorter than your word. So my piece right here is 1 3/8 inches by 1/2 inch. Okay. And I'll just take some glue and just put a line of glue right across like that. Then I'll take my first letter, my middle letter. I like to do the middle letter first and just stick it on there. And then I'll take one of the side letters and just line it up right on that piece. So it's just very easy. I'm not having to line them up on the edge of a box because that would take me a long time. And we all have little tiny scrap pieces of cardstock flying around our craft rooms. And so now I have a cohesive boo in one piece. And so I can just double check that's the back of my box. And I'm going to take a little of this glitter washi tape. Now, it did take me a little while to find the end of my washi tape. And I think I've sealed it back down. So I'm just going to feel along. Aha! I felt for the end and there it is. Okay, so I'm going to take this first, and since I'm going to be putting the boo on the front here, I'm going to have the overlap of the washi on the front where no one will see it. I'll just kind of center it in the middle of the box and then just bring it around. This is just really fun washi tape. Just will add a little sparkle to your Halloween projects, and some of the colors can be used in non-Halloween times, and you can tear washi tape, but I'm going to cut it this time. All right, so the overlap is right there in the front, and then I'll take some, oh, those are not mini dimensionals. These are mini dimensionals. I'm going to take some mini dimensionals and put some on a mini dimensional on each of the corners. I don't know how well things would adhere to the washi tape, so since this is going to straddle the washi tape, by putting it on the outer corners, it's actually not touching the washi tape, and hopefully that will make the adhesive stay on there. I do find dimensionals adhere to cardstock pretty well, and it stays in place, but if you attach it to something that's sparkly or shiny, it might not stay as well. So this kind of circumvents that problem. And then I'm just trying to eyeball center on there. So look, does that look nice? Okay, now we still need something for the top of the box. So I'll just grab a piece of cardstock. This is just basic white. And I'll grab a witch's hat and my Night of Navy ink again. And just tap, tap, tap. And I kind of angle it just a little bit in the corner. All right, I caught a little bit. I've probably talked about this, catching an edge. Well, there I just caught an edge. It got inked up. So thankfully for this project, I'm punching out so it does not make a difference at all. But this is a case where if this ever happens to me, after it happens to me, I usually trim right away. And I could tell that this had a lot of rubber around it, so I probably would have trimmed it anyway, but this week I was in a rush and I didn't trim it, but it's good to show you that, you know, if you catch an edge, if you ever get these little halo edges, that's because you've got ink right on that rubber edge right there. And then it touched down. All right, so let me find my punch. And we're going to line this up. And just give it a little punch. So this punch has some other pieces to it that you can absolutely use. And I'm going to show you in a second how I made a little glitter star. You could, if you just had basic white, you can color these with Stampin' Blends if you want. But I am going to use Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use the Highland Heather Stampin' Blends. And I'll do all the big polka dots with the dark Highland Heather. And then I'll do the smaller dots with the, oh, one more dark one, with the light Highland Heather. That way I didn't have to think too much. You know, sometimes you don't want to have to think, what am I going to color? Especially if I'm going to color a lot of these. Okay, there we go. So, and then if you did this hat right here, you can do multiple colors, and there I just use Pumpkin Pie, Old Olive, and Highland Heather. And then for these hats here, I just did the same thing, Old Olive and Pumpkin Pie. So you can choose how you want to do that. So I did want to create kind of a banded look. So what I did was I just kind of went along the lines, and I wanted to have a little bit of white showing. I wanted it to look like it was like a ribbon band. So I wanted to keep just a little bit of white on there. So I didn't color it all the way. So that just kind of makes it look like the light is catching maybe some satin. All right, so I want to create a little star for here, and you can see how I did that before. I already punched 2 stars out of here, so I'm just going to cut this piece off because I won't need that anymore. And 2 of the stars, well actually this tiny one right here would probably fit on just 1 line of washi tape, but I wanted to use the biggest star. So I'm just going to take a line of washi tape and put it on this basic white piece. This probably measures, just grab a ruler here. This measures 7/8 of an inch across. It was just a scrap of paper I had on hand. I didn't really design it for 7/8 of an inch, but 7/8 will get you about 2 stars out of here. So I'm just taking a second line of washi tape and I'm putting it right next to the other one. Actually, I can see better when I'm doing it this way. Isn't that weird? Okay. So they're just 2 lines right on top of each other. And then I'm going to use this star right here. And I know it's on the end. I like to punch into the white side rather than having this side up because I can see the white side better than I can see the glittery side. So I'm going to just flip it over and I'll put it right into that star right there and then give it a punch. And then it comes out looking like that. So a little shiny star. So it's nice. You can create other punched elements just by laying the washi tape. You could do like a multiple color image too. Like you can line up different colors in a row and then punch out, and you can have a shimmery colored look that is multicolored. So this star is still quite tiny. I wanted to pop it up on a dimensional, but it's tiny. So I'm just going to take a mini dimensional and cut it in half. And then that little tiny half, put it on there. And then remove the backing. And then place this on here. My mom watches my videos a lot of times, actually. It's kind of neat that she does. It's very sweet that she does. And sometimes my mother-in-law does too. Both of them watch. But my mom has said, she goes, I don't know how you do those tiny, tiny little things. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes it is a little like piecemeal, these little tiny elements, but they look really cute. Just that little sparkle on there. Okay. And you know what? You don't have to, put it on a dimensional. If you wanted to glue it directly to the hat, then it wouldn't be as hard to put on there. Okay, so then we'll just take our hat. I'm going to avoid the 3 corners and not put Tombow on there. So I'm just putting it on the core part because I know I have a little bit of overhang on the 3 corners. Actually, when I was designing this box, I was like, ooh, it'd be cool if the box was the exact shape of the hat, but you know what? That would have been a very small box. That wouldn't have fit anything. So I decided that it would just be, it would be a triangle box, and then it would have a little bit of overhang, and I think that kind of looks cute too. So there we go. There is how you make the box. Now let's talk about candy before I come join you back on camera. And okay, so let's have a look. So this one right here, I put in I saw these at the grocery store. These are Reese's Bats. So if you tuck under the ends and you stick it in here, you can fit this one here. I would say that not all Halloween candy will fit in here. So that plus 3 kisses will fit in there. I don't think I can get two of these bats in here. Okay, so it won't fit everything. It will fit, do you know Hershey's miniatures? They come in a bag like this, Hershey's miniatures. They're different than nuggets, but I think nuggets would fit in here as well. But if you take 2 of these, 3 of these. Okay, when I put these in earlier, it just was like kind of effortless, and now I'm like, it's a little bit taller than the box, so you can't put them in on the side. So you just have to kind of, all right, truly earlier this went in a lot easier. Okay, so there's 3 in there. Okay, that will fit in there. Kisses, of course, will fit in there. Let's talk about some other candy. I don't think Ghirardelli squares will fit. But let's have a look and see. I think they're a little too tall. So these guys, so Ghirardelli squares won't fit. Ghirardelli minis, if you've seen Ghirardelli minis, they're like this, but they're a little smaller. Ghirardelli minis would fit in there. Actually, let me go grab my minis. I have some. I just didn't bring them over because I thought I'd give Ghirardelli regular size a try. Minis aren't all over the place, so they're really cute. I don't know if they have any for Halloween. Let's see how many will fit in here. Triangle boxes do have their limitations because a lot of our candy is not in a triangle except for kisses. So it looks like, could I get 3 in there? I think 2 would fit, and then you need to put a couple kisses in there to fill up the box. Let's see what else. Dove chocolate would fit. Hershey's nuggets will fit, no problem. I don't know if I have any nuggets just lying about. Dove chocolate fits nicely. That's about 4 pieces in there. And kisses, of course, well, no problem fitting in there because it's triangle. I went into my candy drawer earlier and just started pulling out candy. You notice all the dark chocolates left over because that's not something that I'll eat. Okay, Lindor. Okay, so it really will only fit 1 Lindor. I mean, if you squish it in, no, I think just 1 Lindor will fit in there. So that's probably going to be the same thing for Ferrero Rocher. Let's come in here. Everything is in Ziploc bags. I don't want any critters getting into these. Ferrero Rocher. Yeah, just 1 of those will fit in there. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea of like the candy that will fit into this little box. Test it out with some of your Halloween candy. I can't believe my grocery store every year has Halloween candy out so early. I noticed that there are all the cute little boxes. Aren't they sweet? They're so sweet. I think they would look just really nice in a display. So let me come back over to you guys. So Halloween candy, it might not be out yet for you, but in my grocery store, they've started putting it up high over the freezer section, they've got the boxes of the Halloween candy. So you might look, if you're already working ahead for your Halloween projects, you might look up high. They might not be in your normal sections of the store quite yet, but they are kind of hovering around there. They want us to buy that candy, you know? Because if you buy it now and you hand out Halloween candy, it will probably all be gone before Halloween, so you have to buy another bag. It's a really bad strategy, but that's what happens. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm going to get to all your questions in a second, but I wanted to remind you we only have a few days left of celebration. So make sure if you're placing a holiday order for holiday supplies, get them now so you can get some free products. If you click over to my blog, that very first banner up at the top will have a link to the choices that you get for your free gift for every $50 or $100 you spend. Also, if you use this host code and you order with me, you will also get a package of, they are right in front this time, the Fine Sparkle Gems, and those will be mailed out to you at the beginning of September. I am going away in September, and I'm bound and determined to get them out before I leave. I hope I'll be able to do that. I'm running on a weekend and a long weekend, and I leave the day after Labor Day. But don't worry. While I'm gone, I will be sharing my normal projects with you. I just won't be going live. I've already started filming my videos for when I'll be gone. So you will have videos with new projects, but that's not until after Labor Day. So I still have a few live videos with you left. So you need to spend $50 in order to get those gems. But even if you spend a little bit less, you'll still get to choose one of my free with purchase tutorials. And that offer of the free tutorials offer is for all size orders, but it just needs to be over $15. But if you want to get the Fine Sparkle Gems and the gift from Stampin' Up, make sure your order is at least $50. Use my host code, and then you'll get something from me and something from Stampin' Up. So that's a good thing. If you've enjoyed my tutorial today, please give me a like and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. You can see on YouTube, you can see my little head floating down the corner. If you click on that, that will take you to the subscribe page, and then you can subscribe. Make sure you click on the notifications bell so that you can get notified the next time I go live on YouTube. All right, I think I've talked about everything. All the supplies are on my blog, so and actually they're down below in the description of the video. I try and include the list of everything down there as well. But if you want to see photos of the projects I made today, check out my blog because there's some still photos that will give you a better idea of the project. Okay, let's take a look. I'm gonna move my host code away. Let's take a look at some of the comments. Let's say hello to you. Good morning with Inked Fingers and Stephanie and Janine. Janine says the boxes are darling. Good morning, Pat, Bling Bling Crafter. Pat and Isabella from Arkansas. Good morning, Birgit. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you again. Good morning, Denise from South Dakota. Oh, Birgit was curious how I made the boxes, and now you know I've let the secret out of the bag. And you don't need any dies. Did you notice I did not bring out my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine? But you can do scoring on the trimmer, but the Simply Scored really is your friend. If you're going to be doing a lot of 3D projects with scoring involved, get yourself a Simply Scored. It's such a time saver. And it makes your projects look wonderful. Those score lines are nice and deep on the Simply Scored. Denise said, adorable boxes. Hello, Ver Blue from Tennessee. Good morning, Marty from sunny Pittsburgh. We have sunshine here too this morning. It's quite a nice morning. We are watching me on the big screen. Oh, that could be scary. All my things, everything's amplified, probably including my face. Ah. I I am not. I'm a like. I literally I shower at night. So in the morning, the what like I brush my teeth after breakfast, but I literally just comb my hair. And my mom reminds me, put on some lipstick. And so I did. I put on lipstick before I got on here. But that is the extent of my routine in the morning: brushing my hair, washing my face. But like, yeah, we're talking bare bones. So on the big screen, I might not look so great, but I hope my project makes up for it. Good morning, Cynthia. And good morning, Sue from Texas. Marty says the boxes are cute. I'm glad. Sue Mitchell says she loves the stamp set. And I'm not sure if you're referring to Alphabest or the Bewitching stamp set, but I think they're both great. Good morning, Karen from New Jersey. Hello, Lupe. Oh, it's going to be another muggy day in LA. I'm sorry. Good morning, Alita from Puerto Rico. Good morning, Dee. Oh, yes, you might have to catch the replay, but that's okay. It lives on YouTube forever, or as long as YouTube wants to host it, I guess. Good morning, Elsa. I'm glad you caught the live this time. And she says, I'm such a great teacher. Well, thank you. I try and be the teacher that I would have needed as a little girl to make paper crafts, because I had a hard time sometimes, like with understanding how to do things. And I wanted to craft when I was a little girl. I just didn't have the know-how and the tools. And so when I'm doing stuff, I want to try and show you how to do it and show you different angles and go slow enough for you. So thank you for saying that. It's one of my goals, is to really try and show people how to do it. I don't want to just make a project that only I can do. I want to make a project that all of you can do. So that's very, very important to me. Dee said, for me, all of that candy in my craft room would be in imminent danger of being eaten before the project got finished. Well, that's why I keep around the ones that I won't eat. So like the dark chocolate, for me, does not tempt me at all. So they get bagged up and I use it for, designing stuff, right? Find something. I sometimes like certain things, like I keep frozen too. Like I have Rolos that are always frozen, because when I make a Rolos project, they kind of need to be frozen because otherwise they'll squish. So I keep those ones frozen. So I have different ways of keeping myself away from candy. Pat said, awesome box once again. Worthy of a thumbs up for sure. Ah, thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Dee likes the very cute Halloween treat box. Denise said these cute boxes would be cute, made for all holidays. Yes, I mean, you could definitely turn them into a little Christmas tree as well. But, this one I sized to have like the same, we talked about this before. There's a triangle that has all the same sides. Someone's going to say it in a second. It's equilateral, I think it's called, an equilateral triangle. So I made this one to be an equilateral triangle, equal sides, equal angles, and so and usually trees they have a different shape to them, but yeah, you could improvise for sure. But I thought this would be just great for to fit the witch's hat. It was designed for the witch's hat, and actually because the boots are kind of in a triangular shape as well, they also fit very nicely on here. We don't have a punch for this though, so you need to cut that out, and you can kind of see the way I cut it out. I left this center part white. I didn't go too deep. I just did the heels. I think it's easiest to cut in right here, right at the top of the shoe first, while there's still enough cardstock around. I found that's the easiest way to cut that. Stephanie said, cute project as always. I managed to make a pumpkin pie one with you. Oh, awesome. That's great. Yeah, it could be a little pumpkin pie as well. And with ink finger said, you look beautiful. Well, thank you. I've got a very natural look. If you had seen me as a teenager, it was the 80s, okay? And the 80s was a time where there was a lot of makeup and there was teased hair. And my dad, he had 4 brothers, and I don't think he had much patience with his daughters who wore makeup. He looked at our makeup and he was like, I'll just get you a can of paint from the garage and you can paint your face on. That's what he would say to us 2 girls. And yeah, it was quite bad. And now the flip side of that is now I don't wear any makeup. I don't even know how I would put on makeup because I'm so blind as a bat without my glasses on. Even with a big magnified mirror, it would be a disaster. So there are many reasons why I don't wear makeup, but that is definitely one of them. And you know what? I'm happy. I'm like truly I'm happy. I'm good. I don't need to wear makeup. I feel fine without it. But some people do. And everyone has to do what makes them feel good, right? And I'm good like this, but I just remember back to like the 80s where I guess I got that all out of my system in the 80s. All that makeup. It was crazy. And Marty says I look pretty too. Well, thank you guys. With Wicked Finger says, I'll have to use the scan and cut to cut the boots. Yeah, you could do that. The one thing I love about the punches, like if you make a project with the punches, is the punches are really quick and easy. I think even easier than using a scan and cut because you can just stamp a strip and then go boom, boom, boom. But you don't have that for the boots, so you have to find other ways if you're going to make a lot of them. Marty says, I still remember making paper flowers in kindergarten. I made a paper cigar. Oh my gosh. You never make a paper cigar anymore, right? That's so taboo to do that. But yeah, I loved crafting when I was little, but I was not very good at it. And I'm kind to myself. I just didn't have the tools and I didn't have always the right teacher. Like I did Girl Guides and brownies, and I love doing crafts in those as well. But I wanted to do more. It's just it just wasn't always a possibility in our house. So now as an adult, I get to do all of that, and it's so much fun, right? It brings joy to hopefully you and to me. Stephanie said she liked the tip for lining up the alphabet set. Yeah, it works really well. So even on your cards, if you wanted to, just line it up on a little strip first, it just makes your life easier. And then also it's very easy to pop them up. All right. With Ink Finger says, you do you. That's right. Yeah, we all should do us and be happy with us, right? We probably all have things we love about ourselves and all have things we don't like about ourselves, but we should try and be good to ourselves and be us, right? All right. Lita says she has to wear at least lipstick. I know, I really should, but some days I'm just like in a rush. And my mom reminds me, that's what moms are for. They remind you to do the things that you might forget to do yourself, right? Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. And I didn't see any questions come through, but if you have a question later on after watching this video, just let me know and post it down below in the comments. Leave me a comment too. I love to see your comments. It's so much fun to read them afterwards. And let me know if you have a question and I will answer it. Okay, I hope you have a great weekend. Start thinking about Halloween because we're at the end of August. So you want to think about getting your Halloween supplies at the beginning of September or end of August so that you can start crafting ahead. You don't want to wait till October, because what happens in October is things that you want start to sell out. And so, we don't want the witch hat builder punch to sell out. And last week I used the scary cute bundle. We don't want those things to sell out before we, have a chance to decide on our projects. So think about like now or at the latest September for getting your Halloween supplies. All right. You guys have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye bye.